Hey everybody, how's it going today? I'm the Know You Man, and I thought we'd talk about another heavy-hitting topic. The footage that you're seeing in the background is Gears of Halo, otherwise known as Warhammer 40k, Space Marine. Please enjoy watching me get my ass kicked while I talk about these very sensitive topics. This is something that really made me think one day when I was talking to my friend about the future, about what exactly it was that we wanted from life. And to nobody's surprise, it's a pretty complicated answer. Because the fact of the matter is, life is meaningless by definition. We as humans, collective humanity, give life meaning. We give it drive, we give it power to mean something. And honestly, because of this, life can really mean anything. There's plenty of beauty in tragedy, in persevering. Life is beautiful. Because within tragedy, within despair, within struggle, there's hope. And that in itself is a beautiful thing. There's always disparity. Which also means that with meaninglessness comes purpose. Now this probably begs the question, what is my purpose? What am I doing here? Yes, life is meaningless. Yes, we give it meaning. But what is the meaning that I am going to give my life? What am I meant to do in this world before I pass on? Like I said before, quite honestly, that is a very, very complex answer, and even a subjective one. Nobody can really tell you what your purpose is but yourself. Now, how do you find purpose, though? Well, still as complicated as it is, it's a lot less complicated. You see, there's many ways to find purpose, but a lot of the time it seems to be buried under feelings of dread, of hopelessness, almost like we're never going to get out of whatever slump it is that we might find ourselves in. But truth be told, purpose lies pretty much everywhere. I mean, it pretty much begs for you to seek it out, wherever it is. It can be as simple as passing butter, or as ambitious as curing cancer. Now granted, it doesn't matter the scale of your purpose, right? If you find some kind of importance in that purpose, that's all that should truly matter. Now personally, I don't really have an idea of what my true purpose is in this life. I go with the flow and I try to find out what it is that I want from this life. What I can do for this life. What life can do for me, even. There's a few things in my, creative skill set, I suppose, that warrant a purpose. Like for me, what makes me want to get up in the morning and do something is the fact that I love making videos. I also love making music. And more than anything, I also love voice acting. I try to get gigs wherever I can. I try and help out other people with their projects. And in doing all of that, and doing all these things that, are technically just hobbies for a lot of people, it makes me feel good about myself. It makes me feel like there's something there. Whether it's that I'm doing it for other people or I'm doing it for myself, it makes me feel accomplished. Inherently, humanity feels good when they do good things. I've always felt that to be true in my case. I've always enjoyed being able to be there for other people, being able to see things through to the end for someone, not expecting anything in return either. And for a lot of people, their purpose is to serve others. Because other people feel really good about the idea of devoting themselves to others. With the semantics of religion aside, it's obviously undeniable that a lot of people can see the good that churches have done, ranging from things like feeding the poor, clothing the homeless, providing shelter for others. And the people that give those churches a good name have their purpose being devoted to serving others. That feeling of selflessness, that feeling of knowing that you changed somebody else's life for the better, is exactly what those people endear about their purpose. That's not to say, of course, you need to be this benevolent being that could do no wrong to feel like you have a purpose in life. I'm just using it as a side example. Like I said, purpose can come from everywhere. If I personally had to say what I feel like my purpose is, it would probably be to offer up creative services. Because I feel really, really good knowing that I contributed to or was able to make from scratch something completely original. And it makes me feel even better when my friends and all those people that I care about that also do the same thing that I do join me along for the journey. Knowing that a supportive group of individuals who all share the same creative energy are here now also sharing in the same vision, it's what makes me want to do what I love doing, which is making content. And sure, it'll take a very long time before we even remotely get anywhere with this whole YouTube thing, but it's part of the journey. Learning from other videos we make, what other people want from those videos, being able to meet new people in the comments, all that stuff goes a very, very long way. This may not even be what I truly end up doing in the future, but all I know for sure is that it's what I want. And this is what I feel like is my purpose in life. So how would you go about finding it if you don't really have an idea? Well, my biggest question for you would probably be, what is something you love doing? What is something that you have a massive talent for? Is it sports? Is it content creation? Is it cooking? Is it home renovations? The list of possibilities are quite literally endless. Now say it is one of those things. We'll go with, cooking. Try and dissect what it is you like about cooking. Do you like being able to experiment with different recipes? Do you like making food for other people? Do you like how people compliment your food? The reason does matter, but at the same time, as long as it fills you with something that makes you feel like you're doing something right, a sense of accomplishment, a sense of greater belonging almost, that's one of the first indications that this might be your calling in life. Or it could just be a hobby. Who really knows? Unless you explore that, you are never going to find out. But let's say you decide one day that this is truly what you want to do with your life, that you want to be such a good cook that you become a Michelin star chef with dozens of restaurants all across the country. Be the best damn cook that you can be. Practice every single day and improve your craft one by one until you can make every single recipe of yours, an original one even, to the very best of your ability. Now notice I didn't say perfect, because perfection isn't the goal. You're never going to learn anything if you don't make mistakes in life. It's about learning from said mistakes and being able to move past all those mistakes. That only deepens and strengthens your connection to purpose. Because say you make a mistake, or say something is just not quote-unquote perfect, what do you do then? Well, if you're not as passionate about it as you thought you were, you give up. And clearly it was not your calling. And that's totally fine. But at the end of the day, it's important to understand that mistakes are a natural part of life. Everybody's going to make them. Everybody has made them. And it is imperative to accept the fact that you will only continue to make many more as you go on, and many more on your journey to learning what you want out of life. There's going to be some days those chef recipes are just not going to be hitting right. Or sometimes you're going to want to use a different ingredient for something and it just ends up not being too good. But if this is truly your goal in life, never let a mistake stop you. Always learn from it. And the whole mentality of never do it again isn't exactly the best advice either, because everybody's prone to repeat mistakes. Sometimes even the same ones. It's more about continuing to learn different methods until you can lessen the amount of mistakes you make. Let's say one ingredient didn't work out, so you substituted for another one, and it works. Maybe keep trying that one and see what else goes with other things. And before you know it, you're going to have a bunch of different dishes on that menu. And suddenly, you're going to be getting more requests than Taco Bell to bring back so many more of your food items that you didn't have on the menu because they were saturating said menu way too much. That is the potential that you have, that every single one of us has. And it doesn't have to stop there either. Like I said, before you know it, you might even have Michelin star restaurants. You might even be slapping Jamie Oliver silly for all you know, because your food is just that good. And it all started because one day you realized, I'm pretty good at making food. So it's really as simple as that. It's a mix of inspiration and, in some ways, also being realistic. And by realistic, I mean I don't know, you're a landscaper for a few years and you really like it, but one day you're like, yeah, I'm gonna apply to NASA. I don't really like the idea of being an astronaut, but what gives? Why not? Obviously, there's a bit of a difference there, but risk only really counts if you're passionate about it. So yes, it's important to be realistic about it, but at the same time, if this is what you really want, work hard for it. Work very, very hard for it. I do believe in luck, but I do also believe the power that hard work can have. You see so many stories of so many immigrants that came here with nothing and made so many things work out in their favor because they started from the ground up and became something unimaginable to them years before they even came to America. So if those brave men and women who immigrated to this country to be much more than they ever thought they could be could do it, so could you. I mean, I know what your life situation is, or if you're on this video because you're trying to find purpose in a really dreadful situation that you might be in, but whatever the case is, I just want to let you know that you will find it one day. And I'm gonna go with the assumption that you have a loving family that cares about you, or at least loved ones in your life. If even through all your talents or anything else that you might have a passion for falls through and you decide maybe that's not really my purpose in life, or it's probably not in my reach at the moment, be alive for those that care about you. That is your biggest purpose. Live and make something of yourself for those people that care about you, that want to see you succeed in this world. And if you feel like you matter to nobody, if you feel like you don't have a purpose in life, guess what? I'm giving you a new purpose in life. Live for me. Live so that I might one day see the man or the woman that you become. That I can sit here and tell you how proud of you I am, just as I am proud of you right now for taking the time out to take care of yourself, to click on this video just for a few moments and listen to something that you might have needed to hear today. Finding purpose is hard, but it's not impossible. And one last thing too, even if it's something that at the moment you're not passionate about, do some research into other things that you think you might like, even things that you probably didn't even know you could like at all. Even if you liked cooking and maybe you weren't good at it, right? This is reality B. Maybe you weren't good at it, but you really liked playing guitar. And before you know it, you're playing chords, you're shredding riffs, you're learning the ascending legato run from that one Rings of Saturn song, and now you're playing for hundreds of thousands of people live on stage. This is what I mean. Purpose comes from anywhere, and you can absolutely find it one day. If you have to struggle, if you have to endure, do it. But if there's one thing you can't do, it's give up. Never give up. You are amazing, and you're going to do so many wonderful things with your life. I can promise you that much. And with this, I would like to thank you very much for clicking on this video and taking the time that you need to be able to fix some of those things that you might be dealing with right now. Thank you for wanting to listen to what I have to say, even if it may not be entirely right. We appreciate you so much, and we really hope that you get to find exactly what your purpose is in life. I only ask that you do your best to continue to live on with patience, and more importantly, compassion for others. You have a very long road ahead of you, but Rome was not built in one day. I hope you have a good night, or I hope you have a wonderful day, and I wish you all the best moving forward. Be safe, my friend.